So daily update, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity to tell you about the Mistral. So over there, accumulating and probably currently like firing through the Rhone Valley is a Mistral. So what's a Mistral? It's a pain in the ass is what it is. It's you end up with this really strong northwesterly wind. Yeah, basically the Rhone Valley has a funneling effect on it too, which is how it ends up being so powerful. They are quite dangerous. It does come from the land, so if you're close enough to shore, it tends, you obviously don't get the swell with it as well, but they can blow up to like 90 kilometers. Tomorrow's the peak of it, and it's forecast to be around about 45 miles per hour, gusts that is, but I tend to go off the gusts because last night was not the best night at anchor. The wind was coming from the west. The gusts were advertised to be up to 20 miles, but there was some. I look on the what actually was recorded, what it did blow, because I was I was up all night watching, thinking I hope I don't move, and I'll get on to why I can't move. I couldn't move, but yeah, it was forecast to be 20. It was blowing up to let's say 30. And for the most part, it was the gust. So I tend to look at the gust now over just the general wind, because I find that it's probably going to be the gust that's going to get you in it. It's all good and well if there's 9, it said the general wind was going to be, and I'm sure throughout the night it gusted 20 fairly non-stop. As well, I came out of I was in the hatch just looking out, praying I didn't move. This is at like 2 in the morning, and then I see a mast light just going past at the back, and at 2 in the morning I'm like, is that me moving past the mast light? Like, have I come off anchor? I put all the chain out, and we did manage to stick through it, so that's good. But I'm looking around at some of the other boats and thinking, are they asleep? Like, when it's like that, there's no way there's no sleep, and it's not necessarily because it's uncomfortable, although it is quite uncomfortable and it's creaking. But people say to me all the time, oh well, if it's windy, why don't you go sleep on the land somewhere? And it's like, it's not the uncomfortableness of it that's like worries you the most. It's the thought of dragging and ending up on the land. And it's not, if I grounded the boat, it's not even that I'd be the embarrassment of it. I'd probably record it and show you lot. Like, it's not that. It's I've seen boats in a previous video. Once it gets to the land, especially if it gets to rock, the keel's coming off, the boat's getting flooded, and my whole life's inside the boat. So that's why you can lose a bit of sleep quite easily when you're anchored, it's night time and there's strong winds. But yeah, that's the Mistral. That's due to come tomorrow, and I am now like right in the centre of it. So where I used to be, a Mistral over there, it doesn't really reach that far unless it's strong, and then you get a bit of it. But over here, we're right in the thick of it. Probably goes as far as Frejus, I guess, or Saint-Tropez, but Saint-Tropez is way back over there. Marseille's over there, and we're somewhere in the middle, which, yeah, you get it pretty strong here. Around Toulon, I guess, is the place you could say the closest, because that's just around that corner. So yeah, I need to get out of that. Why haven't I gone yet? I've still got this problem with the rig. So I have come around to the idea I need to get it fixed, because last night when I'm sat thinking, what if the boat drags, there's two problems. The rig and the engine. So it's not necessarily the engine that's the problem, it's if I've used power in the day and the engine's not been on, and then it's night time, I can't get the engine to start because I'm running off 2 leisure batteries that are parallel. So I am going to go back to having a separate one for the engine. But I think the alternator's broke. I've tried to clean it. I'm not gonna go into loads of detail about that in this video because it's just meant to be an update. But yeah, that's why I haven't gone yet. So what I've had to do in the past is when that's happened. Because last night I'd have gone if I could have started the engine, because I'd have rather spent 2 hours getting somewhere and then being able to sleep than the whole night worrying about whether I was going to move, knowing I was still going to have a bigger problem in the morning. So yeah, that was problem number 1. Problem number 2 is the rig. So I've had it before where if I needed to get out of here in an emergency, especially when I could furl and unfurl the sail, you know, I put a bit out, it had got me off and I'd have been away with just the sail and being able to furl it. But having to get it up whilst getting the anchor up in strong wind on a rig that I'm not sure can even hack the wind anymore is not a good idea, because that's how masts break in it. So yeah, so them 2 things I need to solve quite urgently, because as I said, sailing over in light winds, okay, fine. But when the winds did get a bit stronger the other day, I think I've already mentioned in an update, I was worried about the rig. So I'd have been very worried in the dark last night with a sail up. And I could have put that little storm sail on the main, but it's getting it on when it's already windy is not easy. That's how I had did injure myself a bit more about that upcoming in the episodes that come up. But the night I think I posted a live update when I'd had an issue where I dragged before in a south wind and then loads of squalls went over and the engine stopped and I was trying to get a sail on and the main sail halyard went up the thing, so I had to just in the end just try put this little storm sail, and then that, as I was doing that, I flew out off the boat holding on to the halyard because a wave had done that, and as I come back smashed into the mast, hit the deck. So yeah, all of that last night wouldn't have been ideal. Obviously the ideal is fixing the rig at the front and the furler so that I can furl a bit of head sail out when this happens and get out if need be. But yeah, they're 2 things I'm going to fix. Any more? I don't think so. Yeah, and the reason the battery is now saying 12.8, but I think it lies. I think it just tells me that whatever. So I'm giving it till the last possible moment I can. I've watched most of the other boats leave already, because if I press the button too early, all the energy that's gone in this morning goes out and the engine isn't even started, and we don't want that. So I'm waiting until the last possible moment, and I am gonna put this sail on in case I need to then get out in an emergency. Yeah, thanks for everyone who watched the 2 videos I posted the other day. I normally, if I posted 2 in quick succession, the YouTube doesn't really show it to anyone, so I know it's probably you guys who watch the videos as they come out, so thanks for watching too, because I see that they pretty much was on the same views, so I really appreciate that. And thanks to the people who support me on Patreon, because it's that that donation that I get every month that's going to put me in a port safe from the Mistral tomorrow. So I really appreciate that, because it goes into my PayPal and then I leave it there for a windy day, and then now I'm safe, because I thought it was a good idea at the start of the month. This is coming up in the videos, to spend like loads of money from I'd earned what I'd earned from the boat trip. And if you watch this channel, you'll know that there were times during the winter or even during the summer where, you know, money was tight, and then it was like, oh, and I didn't want to be in a position where I didn't just have food on the boat. So I'm now like stocked for the apocalypse, but I should probably have not stocked for the apocalypse. I've got like I've got more rice than I know what to do with. So, but it is, you know, it was because I was planning on going west, but I'm now going to find a way to fix this rig in the upcoming days. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks, because that ends up in PayPal, and then yeah, when I have an emergency like now, I can go get out. So thanks for that, I really appreciate it. And then I'll probably save this for tomorrow's update from wherever I end up. But there's some sailing cruising awards coming up, and yeah, I'm sure like I'm not going to win it, but like there's the main one, which we all know who's going to win that, don't we? Like, I don't know what's keyword if you can say it, but the big ones, they're gonna, so that one's pointless. But then there's two other categories, one's for an emerging YouTube channel, and one's for an inspirational one. So I will have by tomorrow I already did put one, and I didn't think anything of it after I did it. It just popped up one night, and there weren't many entries, so I was like, oh, what if just no one else enters? We might win a rib. We'd never be able to get the rib because this thing's hosted in a place I don't know how to say, Apanopolis. So yeah, we'd never win the rib anyway. But I put it on, and then someone then actually posted a link on Facebook, and I ended up seeing the link, and I thought, oh, I'll go back and look, and without telling anyone, there was somehow 6 votes for little old me. So if any of that were you guys, thanks. And then thinking about it, there's if I can just get a few votes, because there's not actually that many entrants, and for the emerging one, the channel has to have less than 10,000, so that obviously cuts a lot of the good ones out. So even if I can just get a little bit of votes on there, I think it might just generate a bit of traffic, like to people who might not have seen the episodes on YouTube. So anyway, that's for tomorrow. I weren't meant to go on about it so much, but yeah, thanks for the comments. The last thing I'll say is, yesterday I did record one of these, but I've done what I've just done now, and ended up talking too much about thinking I wanted to go have a week holiday somewhere because I'm now coming up to been living on a boat for like a year but that's a different story. I'm not actually sure I'll do it, but yeah, so that's why yesterday's one didn't come on, and then it got dark when I was trying to like film a shorter version. So, but what I did want to say in that is apologies for my lateness in replying to comments recently. I did go through yesterday and go back through them. I don't do it on purpose. I think people keep asking me like, well, have you watched this, or have you watched this? Like, my battery generally is reserved for editing videos, and yeah, that's pretty much it really. But yeah, I did go through and catch up with some of the comments, and I do appreciate all the comments. So if I haven't replied straight away, and I don't mean to. So yeah. Anyway, I better go get out of this before this Mistral kicks in, and I'll see you tomorrow.